Is D'Angelo Russell still on the bench, or do you think he's back in the starting lineup? And what do you think of the move short term and long term?
I think barring injury, he's still on the bench, especially with the return of Jared Vanderbilt coming too, because it's always possible. And I don't want to put this on Cam Reddish because he's been playing great, and I want to see it continue. But we've also seen this. We saw it last year where he starts off strong and then he kind of fades away, and then you have to make a move. But Jared Vanderbilt returning, I think, gives you the opportunity to keep the same effect potentially if Cam falters. Again, hope he doesn't, but where you've got a better defender next to Austin Reeves. I think that's the challenge, and we knew it going into the season, was that Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, their weaknesses overlap too much, and it creates problems. Now, is D'Angelo Russell going to be on board with this forever? We'll see. He's in a contract year. Guys who are seen as the sixth man tend to not get paid as much as guys who are starters. I do wonder how much that's ultimately going to factor in here, but so far so good. D'Angelo Russell has accepted the role, and hopefully that's something that continues here. So I do think for the Lakers, for this team, the way it's set up, you have to split D'Lo and Austin as much as you possibly can. And if this is the way to accomplish that, I think that's going to be the path moving forward here for the Lakers until they can ultimately find a trade.
Do they care how D'Angelo Russell feels about it, and do they need to care? I bring that up because we do know the Laker kind of predicament situation. It's also been no secret that the Lakers have shopped around D'Angelo Russell, but and he's got off to a really bad start this year. Is there any part of them is how much into consideration are they taking what D'Angelo Russell wants, or do you think it genuinely doesn't matter because he is in the final year of his contract with the Lakers?
I think it doesn't matter as long as you're getting production out of him. If it's affecting his production in a negative way, then that matters.
But if that happens, Trev, aren't they even less likely to put him in the starting lineup? I'm trying to think how that would help. I think the only way D'Angelo Russell can help himself in this situation, accept the role and shine, right? Because
sure.
every other scenario that's out there, it makes him look bad going into the final year of his contract.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. It makes him look bad if he still can't find success and he's not successful in the starting lineup and he's not successful as a sixth man. That's going to be bad. That's going to be bad news for his wallet, right? Come next summer. There's no question. From the Lakers, though, the fact of the matter is they need him. They need D'Angelo Russell right now, purely from a talent perspective. There's not enough talent on this team. Bottom line, there's not enough talent on this team. This team is not deep enough to be able to diminish or dismiss D'Angelo Russell's role here. You need, even if he's not the perfect fit here, just from a talent perspective, he's an NBA player. They have too many roster spots taken up by guys, but that frankly aren't NBA players or aren't able to contribute at an NBA level. You need D'Angelo Russell. So from that side of things, yeah, it should matter. If going to the bench makes it so that D'Lo is not productive, they need to find a way to make him productive again until they do find a trade or something to that effect. So that's the challenge. But again, you're right. Ultimately, D'Lo's got to produce. He's got a lot of money on the line, and he's going to need to do that coming off the bench. And that's going to be, I think, the best case scenario for everybody involved here. And it's a conversation we had a bunch over the summer. The only difference is it's Cam Reddish jumping into the starting lineup and not Max Christie, who has been wow, what a disappointment he's been to start the year so far. Only 10 games in. He's still he's 2 years younger than Dalton Connect, for crying out loud. But still, that's been, the big disappointment so far.
One more on D'Lo, and then I want to go to some of those role players because I think there's a lot to talk about those role players. It is November 11th. Is D'Angelo Russell, by the time we're at February 15th, is he a Laker, or is all the chatter that's happened? Yeah, you didn't even. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought that was the end of the question there. But.
That's the best answer I could hear because it literally gave you. There was nothing to even think about in that question.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I'll have people tell me, "Oh, you're a D'Lo hater." I'll also have people come at me the other way because I genuinely like D'Angelo Russell. I think his game is so fun. When he's on a heater, he can be one of the most fun players in the NBA. He was legitimately the third best Laker last year. But even if D'Lo was I talked about this last night on my show, even if D'Lo was putting up 30 and 10 a night right now, you would still have to explore the trade market with him because of his contract. He's an expiring deal. And we know he's going to be the main piece I think the Lakers are going to use as expiring money to go out and try to get somebody else. So, look, Alan, I was shocked they went the whole offseason and they did nothing. They brought in a couple of rookies and that was it. I will be even more shocked if they let the trade deadline come and go and they don't. You've got Anthony Davis playing at an MVP level. Rob Pelinka is going to go look him in the eye and say, hey, AD, sorry, we know you're playing great, but we're not going to get you the pieces. I just don't see it.